What? Yeah. Alright, what's up, guys? We are back with round 5 here at the New York Premier Challenge. My name is Cybertron Zheng, and we are currently featuring a match between two 3-1 players. James Baek currently with a team on top, as you see Kangaskhan, Togekiss, Bisharp, Thundurus, Infernape, and Suicune, and Joshua Lorcy on the bottom. His team is Aegislash, Suicune, Thundurus, Salamence, Terrakion, and Clefairy. Very interesting because we just saw the Clefairy Salamence in the last game, though in that one we did not see Nicholas actually bring the Clefairy, but very similar team composition, especially with the Salamence there. Now I played Joshua in the last Premier Challenge. He decided to run Mega Lopunny there, but this time around he is running Salamence, and James, you know, running a bunch of Pokemon that aren't as common in VGC 2015, especially the Infernape. The Infernape being the biggest ones, but it strikes me actually it reminds me of a VGC 2014, or not 2014, some teams we saw back in 2012 and 2013. Infernape, of course, gets access to a lot of support moves like Fake Out, Quick Guard, which is really cool, Mach Punch, Close Combat, Fire-type attacks, often used with the Focus Sash. But James here is going to be leading with the Togekiss and the Bisharp, as Joshua is going to be sending out his Pokemon, Terrakion and Thundurus. So, obviously, James has the redirection going for him right now, which is great. Togekiss is able to redirect a potential close combat away from the Bisharp, though, you know, James might anticipate that and not bother going for the follow me and might try to set up, for example, a Tailwind with Togekiss. Togekiss is a really great support Pokemon because it's not only offensive but also gets access to support moves like Tailwind and Thunder Wave. Of course, it is Fairy type as well, so it gives Terrakion some trouble, though right now it's staring down a Electric type attack and a Rock type attack. But James actually does opt for that follow me immediately. Terrakion, however, does not fall into that trap, goes straight for the Rock Slide, so an excellent play by Joshua there. That's going to do a ton of damage to the Togekiss. We'll see if it has Citrus Berry, as it does. One of the most common items you should expect on Togekiss, making it survive attacks much longer. So Joshua made a great play there, but I think James did as well, as Togekiss's bulk really proving essential there. However, we do not see an Iron Head go into the Terrakion. Instead, we see a knockoff. Fortunately enough, Bisharp not fainting there. I think if Bisharp flinching there. I think had Bisharp flinched, it'd be really, really difficult for James to even win this one, but fortunately enough for Joshua, he was able to avoid that, or for James. Regardless, though, right now it's a pretty interesting position because that Thundurus is in Sucker Punch KO range. Togekiss can still redirect attacks away, so, you know, Thundurus might not want to attack because if it chooses to go for a Thunderbolt, Bisharp can just Sucker Punch KO it. But at the same time, Terrakion here can Rock Slide KO Togekiss. It can also opt for a Close Combat because Close Combat will KO Togekiss at this range. The real question is what item the Terrakion has. Terrakion's a Pokemon that likes to carry Lumberry, but also likes Focus Sash and even often choice items or Life Orb, but obviously not Life Orb here. But pretty interesting turn 1 there. The Life Orb knockoff was so much damage there to the Thundurus, but we do see another Follow Me coming out. Does Bisharp go for the Sucker Punch onto Thundurus? Let's see. So Joshua's going to go for that Thunder Wave to avoid any potential Sucker Punches, but if Bisharp chose to Iron Head the Terrakion, this would be really good for Joshua. But no, excellent play there by Joshua, not walking into that trap. His Thundurus is going to be able to survive another turn as Rock Slide brings Bisharp just around 50%, but the most important thing here is Bisharp was able to stay around for another turn. I think one thing that James could have done was Iron Head the Terrakion in confidence, knowing that Terrakion should outspeed the Thundurus, given that it's a bulkier one. Though James might not actually know that. Suicune is going to come out for James right now, but I'm sure if you are Joshua right now, you're feeling really good. You know, you've still got a Thundurus out against a Suicune and a Bisharp. Close Combat can just knock out Bisharp as well. So, right now Joshua is up 4-3, but he does have Salamence most likely in the back, so probably want to conserve that. Terrakion protects here as Bisharp protects as well. Thundurus, however, is a Pokemon that gets access to Taunt and can stop Tailwind, and what do you know, it does go for that Taunt. Does Suicune go for an attack, or does it try to set up Tailwind? It goes for the Scald. Who does it target? Not targeting on Terrakion Smarly. That is going to target down that Thundurus, and that's going to be a KO. So, good play by James there. He really needed that to get back into the match. And we'll see how things play out here. Clefairy does come in for Joshua now, and of course Clefairy able to redirect those Scalds away from the Suicune, which is essential. So you know, right now the safest play for Joshua is really to just close combat Bisharp and follow me, but James not going to fall into that trap. He is going to be switching out into that Salamence, I believe. Not Salamence, Thunderous, as Clefairy does go for the follow me. But he's still in a pretty good position because right now, James has no way to deal with this Clefairy, and Joshua can just Rock Slide the following turn. So close combat is going to decrease Terrakions' defenses, but the most important thing for Joshua right now is conserving this Terrakion, because Terrakion beats everything. But Scald does 90 damage there. That quite obviously reveals that it's a Choice Scarf, not Choice Scarf, Choice Spec Suicune. That damage output is absolutely insane. Clefairy, one of the bulkier Pokemon in the format. I'm surprised even with the specs they did that much damage, but that was crazy. However, the main thing is I don't think Thunderbolt can knock out Clefairy, so he can still just go for a Follow Me and Rock Slide play. I'm not sure if Joshua realizes that it's choice specs, but we're going to see the Thunderous actually switch out back into the Bisharp, so James is making great plays to get back into the match right now. I'm really enjoying seeing him play. Clefairy actually goes for the Helping Hand. It does not go for the Follow Me, as we do see a Rock Slide come out, but if Suicune targets down the Terrakion this turn, this might be really, really bad for Joshua. Scald comes out, targeting down Terrakion. There was no reason not to Scald the Terrakion there, and that's going to be a KO. Fantastic, fantastic plays by James right now, as it looks like James is actually going to be able to come back with this win. Salamence comes in, and that's going to get the Defiant boost. I don't know. It does not look good for Joshua right now. That last turn did not make very much sense to me. I think Follow Me and Rock Slide just would have been a much better play. Regardless, though, I thought James managed it really well after the first couple of turns. It's still not over, but things are looking really tough right now, especially because Bisharp just got that Defiant boost, so it is Life Orb as well. It's going to be able to dish out large amounts of damage. And the worst thing right now is that it actually has no way to effectively beat the Thunderous in the back. James is actually going to withdraw that Bisharp once again, so going to bring in that Thunderous. Now, one way Joshua can back into this match is, for example, if he protected with that Clefairy and went for a Double Edge / Return onto the Suicune, or a Dragon Dance, potentially. But the thing is, Scald is going to be able to KO that Clefairy at this point, but Salamence protects. Not sure what Joshua's going for at this point. Clefairy protects as well. I think if Joshua wanted to win this one, he had to try to get some damage off that last turn. Or, yeah, I mean, like a return onto Suicune would have been great, but now things are not looking good. He could, however, potentially go for a Follow Me and Double Edge into the Suicune to try to knock it out, because I think Clefairy can take a Thunderbolt from the Thunderous. But he just opts for a Helping Hand here. However, Helping Hand Double Edge might be able to knock out that Thunderous. Thunderous does not taunt or Thunder Wave. How much does it do? Does pick up the KO. So a good turn there for Joshua, but I think we're most likely going to see Scald into the Clefairy. Let's see, what would be enough to knock it out? Might be a damage roll. Clefairy does feint to the Choice Spec Scald. And now we actually have a very interesting game. James obviously wanted to switch out earlier on to bring in the Thunderous to avoid getting Earthquake, but now without the Defiant boost, it can just get Earthquaked. We might actually be able to see Joshua pull back out. I thought like James was in a very good position, but that was an excellent play by Joshua last turn, going straight for the KO onto Thunderous. He knows that this Suicune is locked into Scald, and let's see what Josh is gonna pull out here. I think that Salamence should be able to take a Specs Scald and a Life Orb Sucker Punch, and if he can win. It's gonna come down to whether he can. Bisharp protects. Good play there. That is going to allow him to get free damage off, and obviously right now, Scald can burn the Suicune as well, and Scald can burn the Salamence. A burn would be huge on the Salamence right now. Earthquake, not going to be able to do too much damage to that Suicune, though it does put it in, looks like what is KO range for Sucker Punch, or for Return onto the Suicune. But, okay, no burn there, and we are in for one finish here. Joshua's got one surprise move, and we'll see if he goes for it. Sucker Punch is going to fail because Joshua has the Roost. What a clutch move for Joshua to have right now. That's going to heal him almost all the way back to full HP. If Scald doesn't burn here, I think Joshua's basically, he's good for the game. Let's see. Is there a burn? No burn. 2 Scalds in a row and no burn. Pretty rare sight there. So now if you are Josh, you're in an interesting position. I think the best play is actually to Double Edge the Suicune here, but Sucker Punch plus Double Edge Recoil might be enough to actually knock out the Salamence. So it's going to come down to some rolls here. Sucker Punch comes out. How much does it do to the Suicune? Or the Salamence? 21 HP. Can it survive from this Double Edge Recoil? Here we go. Double edge comes out, goes down. Suicune faints. Is Salamence going to be able to hang on? I think it might be to hang on with like... Oh, it faints! Wow. What a game there. And that is going to be a win for James as he hangs on with very little HP there with Bisharp. A fantastic game by both players. I thought Josh messed up that one turn when he just sacked the Terrakion because I think a Rock Slide would have been really huge. But that Suicune was able to do so much damage. Spec Suicune for James really pulling through. Fantastic job by both players there. And, you know, Josh, of course, could have went for a couple more roosts, but there were some real mind games there, because James might have anticipated another roost, and of course, Scald always could burn as well, and that was probably what he was most scared of. But a fantastic game by both players, and a nice finish there. If, obviously, the Salamence was able to hang on, it could just continue to roost, but not going to be the case. James will advance to 4-1, so one more win will guarantee top cut for him, while Josh currently now sits at 3-2. We'll be back with the 6th round very soon.